for the Burning River Sportscast. Browns 31, Dolphins 6. We win.
We did it. Son of a bitch. So this is what this feels like, huh?
Yeah, I guess so. It's been a minute.
It's been quite a minute. And I'm gonna be 100% honest with you. I'm not real sure how I'm supposed to feel right now.
I'm still processing.
Yeah, it's on several different levels, right? It's on like am I supposed to feel really good about this? Or am I still really confused on what our team actually is?
I mean, a win's a win, so you feel good about the win.
I'm excited about that. My Sunday was great because we won, so I was like, Browns win.
But there's certainly still a fair amount of questions.
But with that being said, you don't have any silly things about me today to introduce me, so that's nice. Thanks. It's still hashtag Fire Stefanski. That it is. I will second that notion.
Don't worry, we won't disappoint you.
Yeah, just because we're excited the Browns won does not mean we come off of that. But listen, you can find our podcast wherever you get your podcasts. We're talking Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, Amazon Music, YouTube Music, Pandora, iHeartRadio, Podcast, Castro, Good Pods. We are our number one ranked football podcast, and so many more. While you're at it, please leave us a review on your preferred podcast app. It really helps us grow and get seen. If you don't, and don't forget to subscribe on YouTube, the only place that you can find our video podcast, and check us out on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. Our handle for all the socials is at Burning River Sportscast. We are on X as well with the handle at Burning River Pod. While you're at it, check out our merch, www.thetapandmedia.com/shop. All kinds of stuff in there. But before we get started, quick shout out to some of our sponsors, Towpat Distillery. Towpat Distillery, an award-winning craft distillery located in Akron, Ohio. Towpat Distillery focuses on high-quality spirits carefully made in small batches. Towpat Distillery, handcrafted, award-winning, local, and family-owned. They're also small batch. I guess I left that one out, but you know.
Don't forget small batch.
Yeah.
Big batch.
Yeah, and then Primetime Sports and Framing with locations in Hartville, Streetsboro, Belden Village, Great Northern, and Kent. They are easily accessible wherever you are in Northeast Ohio with the best selection in autographed collectibles and a world-class framing operation. They are your go-to for officially licensed memorabilia. Primetime Sports and Framing.
You name it, they frame it.
And they provided the game day poster, which Kenny will show you in just a moment, for our giveaway that's running right now. You got 1 week left to enter. Next Sunday, we will be giving that thing away. So yeah, get excited. On tonight's show, this is what you can look forward to. We got a recap of today's Week 7 win over the Dolphins. Yeah, I said win. That's right.
Fillet of fish.
Yeah. Our nominees for Dog of the Week. Did the offense show any life? Did the defense bounce back? What changes we expect as the season progresses? Some interesting activities this week from one of the Browns quarterbacks. Why my co-host is in a neck brace, and I'm sure there will be more. So let's get things started by reminding everyone to call the Burning River Sportscast Hot Take Hotline. That's right. Don't forget to call and leave your hot takes on the Hot Take Hotline. Remember, these are hot takes. We want hot takes.
Call us and tell us.
Yeah, we're going to put those on the air. We'll play them during our recording tomorrow. That's on our Thursday show. We'll talk about your hot takes. If you don't have anything to say about this team, I don't know what's wrong with you. It's like the most polarizing team I've ever known in all of sports.
Quit airing your dirty laundry on Twitter and air it here.
Yeah, we want your dirty laundry.
Yeah, we do laundry.
The number to call, 330-227-8081.
Sorry, it went away. 330-227-8081.
330-227-8081. Call now. We'll put that on the air. And then, as I just mentioned, Kenny, pick up the game day poster.
I can't pick that up right now.
You got a broken neck.
Can't really move over.
He broke his freaking neck. So we're giving away, in case you haven't heard, we're doing a second giveaway this season. We're doing in partnership with Primetime Sports and Framing an autographed Myles Garrett game day poster giveaway.
It's a real nice poster.
Yeah, it's from there's pictures of it online. Kenny can't hold it.
Yeah, you can find it there.
Yeah, so the winner will be chosen from following the entry directions on our social media posts. And you can earn 50 bonus entries by subscribing to our YouTube channel at Burning River Sportscast. Don't have a YouTube account? Make one.
Make one.
It only takes about 5 minutes. The entry period ends, as I mentioned, next Sunday, 10/26, about an hour before game time, and we will announce the winner on our live show that evening. So get entered and good luck.
Or we'll kick you in the jimmies.
Or we'll kick you in the jimmy. So let's do it, Kenny. Week 7 recap. Let's jump right into it. You want to start with the offense or the defense?
Probably the offense.
Less to talk about.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll start with the offense. So let's start with Quinshon Judkins, actually. Quinshon Judkins had 25 carries. He's the first Browns running back since, I think, 2012, Peyton Hillis, if I'm not mistaken.
That'd be correct.
Yeah, to get 25 carries in a game. And yes, you heard that right. That's the disservice that I'm going there already. Kevin Stefanski did to Nick Chubb. He never gave him 25 carries in a game in his prime.
Not even once.
Not even once. But yeah, Quinshon Judkins, 25 carries. I think it's 84 yards. I lost my spot there it is. 84 yards, 3 touchdowns today, including 2 out of the Wildcat. So
feels bad. I was offered him in a fantasy trade this week and I declined.
It's a bad job out of you. This is why you're not very good at pick'em competitions. This is why you're not very good at fantasy football.
Yeah, you know what else? Devonta Smith had a career high in yards today, and CeeDee Lamb caught 2 touchdowns for like 1,000,000 yards. Both sat on my bench, and I played Jalen Waddle instead.
Once again,
worked out well for me.
This is why. Why would you play Jalen Waddle in
They're playing the Browns? I thought they were going to score 40 points, and we were going to score 5.
Tsunami.
I mean, yeah, it didn't end up well. I get it. Thanks.
I just hope you know that if we had any credibility whatsoever on our show, we've completely lost it now because people heard what you do in fantasy football. And they're like, we can't pay attention to anything this guy says.
Yeah. Look, I don't tell people to listen to my fantasy advice.
Back to the Browns game. Quinshon Judkins, 25 for 84, 3 touchdowns. The 46-yard rush was really nice. I mean, and that was the first time since he's been on the Browns that he showed a little bit of breakaway speed. I was like, oh, they didn't catch him.
Yeah, he had plenty of speed on that one. Yeah, and strong running through there. But that's a fair point.
Redo his average after removing that long touchdown. It's like 1.4 yards a carry or something.
Yeah. Look, I think we can obviously break down the numbers in today's game, but today was such a seasonal anomaly. They were talking about wind gusts of 40 miles an hour, spitting rain. It was windy all day. It was chilly. Nothing normal. There was nothing normal about today.
1.58 yards a carry, in case you're wondering.
And it was a day that both teams were just surviving. And I think you saw just very clearly, like, there was one team on the field that had any kind of resilience left in them, and that was the Browns. And Miami just is not made to play in that weather. They weren't tough. They didn't play tough. They didn't play hard. I mean, look,
we can
break this down a million ways, and that's fine. But at the end of the day, like, this was a team that couldn't execute the center quarterback exchange. And it happened not only with Tua in the game, but also happened with Quinn Ewers in the game. So if you're not able to do those basic fundamentals, would they have 10 penalties for like 130 yards? Like,
you're being generous. They had 11. They had 11 penalties for 103. So
yeah, I mean, that was a team that was not prepared to play. Obviously, they've got a lot going on politically in their organization right now. Mike McDaniels is probably facing a pink slip within the hour.
If he doesn't get fired by tomorrow, I think we have problems. But like, if you lose to the Browns, this iteration of the Browns like that, and you're not fired within 24 hours, something's wrong with your team.
Yeah, it was ugly, and I just think that there was no life and no fight left in that team. Tua was throwing the ball just to anyone. Quinn Ewers about threw the ball into traffic on his first series.
He said, "Don't forget about me.
Don't forget about me. I could throw to the other team too." Like, especially the Browns, right? It's not like this team has been ball hawking and forcing turnovers all year long. This was the exception to the rule, where all of a sudden we have 4 turnovers in a game. And basically all Dylan Gabriel had to do was not give them the ball, and then we win.
Yeah. And we'll get to Dylan Gabriel in just a second. James Frank on Facebook just said that Stefanski must have caught Kenny out and about. So, so sick of us talking shit on the podcast that he whooped your ass. Listen, let's be real, James. There's no way a pretty boy like Kevin Stefanski could do any damage to anyone.
I think I could take Steph.
Yeah. I think just about anybody can. I'm not gonna get in trouble by what I was gonna say. So. But anyways,
if you are admiring my neck brace,
you want to tell him
that is compliments of our dear friend, former Cleveland Brown defensive tackle John Hughes.
Yeah, so if you didn't catch it on our social medias, I posted a couple pictures that just kind of a sneak peek for some of the videos we'll have coming out in the next week or two. But basically, Kenny loses King of the North every year, so he always gets punished. And this year's punishment was taking 3 full pads for both of them, but he had to take 3 hits from John Hughes. While a bunch of high school kids yelled at him, told him how bad he sucked. Not John Hughes, Kenny. Told Kenny how bad he sucked. Although the high school kids did tell John Hughes they could take him too. So
yeah, they wanted to do battle. But I can tell you, after being hit by John Hughes, you don't want to do battle with John Hughes.
Don't battle him.
No.
Hence the neck brace.
Bruised C4, L4, D4, P4, whatever. It's all broken.
Name it. It's bruised. But yeah, he's Kenny got effed up.
Yeah, that's to put it lightly. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, one more thing before we get to Dylan Gabriel on offense, though. Joel Bitonio, 168th start today. That's the most by any Browns player since 1999. So that's pretty impressive.
And to think, you almost retired in the offseason. You would have missed that.
That would have felt bad. What's better, like getting this record and playing this season with this shit show, or just retiring and be like, yeah, I was a few games away. I would have got it, but I didn't have to play in that.
Yeah, I mean, if I was Bitonio, I'd be on a boat right now somewhere in the Caribbean.
Yeah.
Not wearing a neck brace.
Dewey said high school kids recover better than us old guys. Yeah, you ain't lying. So Kenny will be feeling this for the next week and a half. But yeah, so let's talk about Dylan Gabriel. I know a lot of people will try and tell you that he looked a lot better. My take on this week is,
was there a consensus? Was that the consensus? Were people saying? I mean, I saw a lot of mixed reviews so far just on socials. Is there a large contingent of people saying that he played well? Because I think it was hard to justify the fact that anyone truly played well at this game because it was just such a sloppy mess.
Yeah, I mean, basically what I'm saying, what I'm seeing across most social media is there is mixed reviews, like you said, but it's more so like, he managed the game well. He didn't turn the ball over in a sloppy game. All this, those kind of things. So it's like growth is what they're seeing. Newsflash: Dylan Gabriel ain't growing. No, he's 5'9" forever. Yeah. What are our nicknames for him so far? We got Hawaii 5'9", Little Coconut,
Little Lava Lamp.
Yeah, we got some good ones out there. So take your pick, but he's not growing. So yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'm with you, Kenny. Like, you can't really. There was nothing, because the game was so sloppy. There was nothing to take away from this game. Like, he threw 18 passes for 114 yards or whatever it was.
Like, yeah, and a lot of those were just like we saw the previous week. A lot of extension of the run game. A lot of rollouts, swings, flats, and a lot of the yardage that was accrued was yak yardage. So, they didn't really throw the ball downfield. The couple that he did were questionable at best. He underthrew Jerry Jeudy big time on the one time he threw the ball, pushed the ball at all. And
he just knew if he got it to Jerry Jeudy, he'd find a way to drop it. So,
well, that's true. But I just think there was very little to. I mean, you can point to. You can point to his decision making. I mean, is still pretty good. He didn't turn the ball over, I guess. So for whatever that's worth, even if you put the ball in traffic, I guess as long as the other team doesn't come up with it, that's a win.
For what this is worth, James on Facebook asked what his QBR was. 23.5.
Yeah, which is about right. Yeah, which is probably about what his QBR is going to be most of the time. I mean, again, He didn't do anything that would cause you to lose the game, but he didn't do anything that would cause you to win the game either. Their guy, the guy that they picked in the third round, that they had as the second highest quarterback on their draft board, is so good that they don't want him in the red zone twice.
Yeah,
Twice.
and don't get us wrong. I know Dewey threw up here. Got to keep the Wildcat package with Judkins. I agree. I think I like seeing at least some sort of creativity in the offense, but it just seemed like an odd place to put it. That the franchise, quote unquote, franchise quarterback, your guy, the number 2 quarterback on the draft board behind Cam Ward, you don't want him playing in the red zone.
Well, what was fascinating about those snaps was they took him completely off the field.
Yeah.
A lot of times the quarterback
didn't even make
least,
him a receiver or anything.
yeah, a lot of times the quarterback at least stays on the field because you don't know what they're going to do. They might run some kind of reverse and a flea flick or whatever. Like quarterback might catch the pass, like something unexpected. They just took him completely out of the game, and they were like, "We're not even going to try and trick you. We're just running the ball. We're just that's it."
No trick plays here. We just don't want our quarterback playing. Dewey's not a fan of QBR.
I see that.
But yeah, so I don't know. Like to me, it's unfortunate that the game was so sloppy weather-wise, because what it does is it just sets the entire franchise, because everything hinges on the quarterback and coaching stuff of this year. It just set everything back another week, because
you push everything back another week.
Yeah, you can't evaluate anything in a game like that.
You
You go and watch tape and you say this was really sloppy.
You learned literally nothing today.
Nothing.
That was at the end of the day. There was, and you only get 17 of these, so each week you're hoping to see some kind of growth, some type of linear development, something that'll tell you the trajectory is directionally correct. A win is good. A win is a win, and it's tough to win in the NFL, but this was not. There was no conventional way of getting there today, and the offense just really didn't do anything. It felt like a lot of the scoring was positioned, frankly, by the defense.
Yeah, I think I told you when we were getting ready to jump on the show here, is it felt like the Browns were playing this year's Browns.
Yeah, that's not unfair.
Every time every time their offense was on the field, they turned it over and gave it to us with like 20 yards or less to go
in the red zone.
Yeah, and so it's, I mean, when you do that, you have like you can't help but score points.
And they had it was basically one of those Murphy's Law games for Miami, right? Everything that could go wrong did. You had the fumble on the kick return, all the interceptions, all the penalties. I mean, stuff that just shouldn't happen in a game, and it just everything went wrong for them. So
yeah,
you learned nothing as a Browns fan today, other than the fact that your record's 2-5 instead of 1-6.
Dewey, we're gonna have to bring you on the show sometime, because you just you're usually on fire in the comments, and you had 2 back-to-back that were really good. Browns versus Brown South is just hilarious, but highlight the one before that, Kenny. Thank God it was sloppy. Only reason Stefanski didn't throw the ball 58 times. You're 100% right, and that's it's crazy to think about, because you would think that like a game like this would wake him up. Like, oh, maybe this is how we win games. Like, we won handily because our defense played well and we ran the ball the entire game. We didn't give up on it at a single moment during this game. But no, we're going to come back next week and throw up 58 times.
There was one time in this game where coaching mattered at all, where like play calling mattered, and Stefanski failed miserably. And it was at the end of the half when they had the ball down on their 2-yard line, and it was 3rd and 12 or whatever. And you're dropping back with Dylan Gabriel in the end zone. You almost took a safety there. For what reason? Why? Why not just run the ball, force them to use their last timeout before you give the ball back to them with under 4 minutes to play?
No, that's they're going to expect that. You got to do the unexpected.
They had a penalty in the end zone. They dodged the fact that it was illegal hands to the face and not a holding call, so it wasn't a safety, but it could have just as easily been a holding call, and it was almost a damn near sack because a little lava lamp barely got out of the end zone. So
poor little coconut.
that was the only coaching point that I even took away from today's game, because nothing else really mattered. But the one point where there was any type of game clock management situation going on, it just went up in flames spectacularly, like Stefanski always does.
Failure. What's that? The quote from Step Brothers.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it was really bad. But let's talk about the defense a little bit because I think bottom line, our offense still wasn't good. So everybody should not get excited. It's kind of tough to be in a game like this, but still, I mean, there's no reason to think our offense going into next week with the weather being good is going to somehow turn things on and score 31 points again. I just don't buy it.
Can I, before we jump to the defense, I have just one final thought
Sure.
around
Yeah.
this offense and Dylan Gabriel. And I don't want to make myself a hypocrite. I want to be consistent on these things. Look, he's 1-2 as a starter now. He hasn't made a ton of mistakes. He's just been kind of very boringly just there. But he hasn't done anything to necessarily get himself benched. And part of me is itching to see Shador just because I want to see him. I don't know what that transition looks like. Like, is it possible that he plays next week? And if it's still kind of ho hum, they take the bye and say, okay, let's give Shador a couple games and then go back to whoever seemed like they could manage the offense better before the end of the year. I don't know. My guess is they're going to run this Dylan Gabriel thing out until like the wheels totally fall off of him, which is disappointing because we probably won't see Shador then until like week 15 or 16. But again, like Dylan does deserve his chance. Like it's not his fault that the Browns drafted him and that he's in this offense. So I want to be fair to him. But I also just think like every time that I've seen him to this point, and I know again you can't judge a guy completely off of 3 games, and let's call it 2.25 because today was such a sloppy mess anyways. It's not fair to just outright judge him. But to me, he's met every expectation of what I thought he was, which is a mid-level backup in this league. He doesn't elevate the players around him. I mean, this offense has been stagnant and boring to watch. I mean, today was an anomaly with the 31 points versus the 17 that they've been scoring. But I think where I'm at with Dylan Gabriel is he's that random girl that you dated just somewhere along your path in life. And there was nothing particularly wrong with her. She was moderately attractive. She was nice to you. Your parents didn't hate her. You come over for dinner and everybody got along. And it's deep down though, you kind of know like she's not the girl you're going to marry. So then it just becomes this game of how long am I going to continue to date this person because I don't really have a reason to break up with them other than the fact that like I know I'm probably not going to marry them. And the longer it goes, every birthday party she shows up at, every graduation party, every grandparent that dies, like it gets harder and harder to cut ties and just be like, you're just not the one. And I think that's what Dylan Gabriel is. And that's my fear is that we're going to end up in this perpetual cycle of like, he's just not suck enough to just like get him off the field, but he's never going to be the one.
Yeah, no, he's not. I wouldn't necessarily call him the rebound chick, but
No,
he's
yeah, I don't even know that he's a rebound. He's just that girl that you dated for too long, somewhere along the line that like
and the
there was
reason it
never going to be
ended
a
was
future
because
there.
you just knew deep down there was something better out there.
Yeah, like there was just she just wasn't the one, and it wasn't that she did anything necessarily wrong or bad or mean or she didn't screw the relationship
So
up somehow.
you're
She just wasn't the one. She wasn't the one for you.
you're basically telling me that Dylan Gabriel is to Cleveland Brown fan base what Baker Mayfield was to Kevin Stefanski.
I guess.
He just wasn't the one.
Well, I don't even think that I can make that argument because I don't think Dylan Gabriel is ever going to be in the MVP conversation. So
Well, no, he's not. He's
years
not.
from now, when he's not a Brown, I don't think he's going to be in any kind of
No,
talk track
absolutely
around
not.
the league.
Absolutely
But
not.
that's the one placeholder. He's a
Yeah.
placeholder. He's the girl that you dated because there was no one else around at the time, and you just kind of stuck with it because they were there.
Yeah, that's fair. Um, I do want to say something about Dylan Gabriel though, real quick while we're still on the subject. James on Facebook said that he said, I don't really see the big difference between DTR and Gabriel, other than DTR is taller and mobile and can throw the ball more than 10 yards. Uh, Wow, that's a funny comment. DTR was ass, man. DTR was so bad. And
I
Dylan
think
Gabriel at least shows a little bit of ability.
I think the biggest difference between the two is Dylan Gabriel is at the very least, like we haven't seen him really push the ball down the field. We've only seen him dink and dunk, but he's
Dylan
accurate.
Dink and Dunk. That's our other nickname for him.
He's accurate. Where DTR was just who knew where the ball was going to go when it left his hand. He didn't
Yeah.
even know.
No.
And so I think there's some of that with DG. Like we'll see what happens when if the weather
Did you
clears
just come up
up
with
and
another one? Just DG. We say all the
I call him
acronyms.
DG all the time because his name is just there's just so many syllables in his name. So I think like we'll see how much more of an accurate passer he is over time, but I think there's a very clear, definitive difference in their accuracy off the bat. Now, DTR certainly more athletic, bigger body, certainly more mobile. All those things are true. But the one thing that you need a quarterback to do, he was incapable of.
Yeah. DTR is bad, man. Like I just want to say you're legitimately when statistically you're talking about the worst quarterback that's ever played in the NFL. Like we had a whole segment on this last year on our show. Statistically, that is not a joke. That is a serious thing. DTR was the worst quarterback that's ever played in the NFL.
Yeah, his QBR was like 0.
Yeah, it was terrible. That is
anyway, on to the defense.
Called him DG. That's now. Anyways, on to the defense. Defense played really well in this one. Obviously, forced 4 turnovers in this one. Our new acquisition, the trade for Jesus. What is happening to me right now?
Tyson Campbell.
Yeah, Tyson Campbell came in, and the new guy housed one today, so that was nice to see. And yeah, I mean the defense was all over it all day. Like they looked like they made Miami look like a peewee team. So
yeah, it was funny because as the game went on, you kept hearing who was on the call today, Archuleta and Spiroditas and
Danny Archuleta, nice.
Yeah, Adam Archuleta from
Yeah.
or David Archuleta.
Yeah, I didn't even get his name right.
Anyway,
pop culture.
Yeah, we're bad at that. But as the game went on, it felt like every second series, Spiroditas was like, "That guy's been all over the field today." It was like, yeah,
every single one of them.
Every single guy has had a big day.
He was excited about it. Yeah. Myles Garrett finally got back on the board with the sack today, though. I have to walk myself back a little bit. Not that I'm giving Myles Garrett any shit, but I said early in the year, we've never seen Myles Garrett have a start like that. Well, he proceeded to go 3 games with no stats. So then it was like, it's just a normal start now.
Yeah. It was almost like Myles was like, all right, guys, prove to me that you're not just going to be suck.
Yeah.
And then once they scored some points and things were going well, he was like, all right, I'll join the party again.
Yeah, that's pretty much what it seemed like. Grant Delpit got in there with a sack today, so
Grant Delpit also forced the fumble on the kick return.
Yeah, big day for him. Yeah, I mean the defense was lights out. Ronnie Hickman with an interception. We already mentioned Tyson Campbell with an interception. Rayshawn Jenkins with an interception.
Well, and that's the thing. Even guys like that aren't big names found their way into this game. Guys like Miles Harden had a decent game. Donovan McMillan was making special teams plays. There was guys all over. Rayshawn Jenkins had the interception. It just was a real
Rayshawn
team
Jenkins
effort.
also recovered a fumble.
Yeah, just a real team effort across the board on the defensive side of the ball. And now I don't know, again, Miami just wasn't here to play. So
did you highlight that comment?
I can't do this show.
Dude, I'm
not gonna read that one. We'll just let if you're watching the broadcast, you'll see it.
Yeah, commentary is bad. Campbell over Newsome for sure, James. Yeah, I mean the defense was phenomenal today, so it was good to see. And then also Miami had 6 fumbles, so I mean a little bit of it. We understand how sloppy it was. We understand maybe that's not all on the defense forcing everything, and some of it had to do with the rain and Miami being completely unprepared.
Well, yeah, even Quinchon bobbled the ball in that Wildcat snap,
He scored a touchdown though.
but he at least caught it.
Yeah, and then he scored a touchdown. But yeah, I mean, 3 fumbles from Tua, 2 from Quinn Ewers, 1 from D. Eskridge, 1 from Devon Ashane, and 1 from Larry Borum.
Yeah, if you put the ball in jeopardy 10 times during a game, you're never going to win. So it doesn't
No,
matter who you're
like
playing, how good their offense is, you're never going to win.
we legitimately couldn't help but win 31-6 today. Like you
Right.
had to.
Yeah, because the offense did nothing and we scored 31 points. So
Yeah. So yeah, and then next up here, special teams. I actually wanted to mention the special teams today because Andre Schmidt, if I'm not mistaken, was perfect again today. 101 field goals, 4 extra points in a tsunami like that. That's impressive stuff. So I mean, after he got our dog of the week last week, so he was the only one that scored points for the Browns. And then coming back and making everything in a game like this week. I mean, I honestly have no. I know he missed the one early in the season, but I have no worries as far as Andre Schmidt. Like he seems like a capable kicker in the NFL.
look, I'm not going to shit on Schmidt right now. Like he's doing his job. I would caution you that like, have any of these kicks really mattered? I mean, very few of them. The one at the end of the Green Bay game, sure. Outside of that, have any of these kicks mattered? Has the pressure been on? Like, this team's not good. I think he's probably mentally like, I'm gonna keep launching it, and if I make it great. I'm gonna keep getting paid, and if I don't, I don't. Like, there's no Super Bowl on the line. There's no playoffs on the line. There's no division crown on the line. These games are absolutely meaningless, and he hasn't had a leverage kick all year long.
Following
So,
Dustin Hopkins, though, your job's on the line every week. So I'm at least going to stand by. It was impressive to see him make all of them today.
oh look, yeah, every week that you make your kicks, like, yeah, you get a plus in the book, but I'm just saying, like, I'm still not comfortable if we were playing Cincinnati for the wild card spot right now next week, and it was do or die. Is that the guy that I want kicking the ball at the end of the game in the snow? I'm not sure.
That's probably fair. That's fair.
I'll do you one better though, as long as we're talking about specialists, because he was your player to watch. Corey Bajorquez dropped 3 inside of the 20 today. So good job, Bojo.
He's a dog. I would nominate him for dog of the week, but I don't think anybody would vote for him
because he's the punter.
Yeah,
we love talking specialists on the Burning River Sportscast.
Yeah. He did drop 3 inside the 28. He had a long of 60 today too. That's pretty good. This defense makes
good.
gurus look like Stefanski. That's
We're
deep.
just gonna have to open up a third spot on this show here for Joey.
And then one more before we leave. Before we stop talking about the defense, James wants to know if we think this was Graham's best game so far.
Best game. I mean, he was. Again, today I just I have to it just doesn't matter to anyone. Like, yeah, everybody played well today. Like, was this his best game? Sure, but it was a sloppy mess and it was a disaster. Like, I would expect my maulers on the inside to do well in a sloppy game like this. If you're not, I don't know why you're here. So I don't know. I go back to like the Green Bay game and the pressures that the defense was able to create and the havoc they were able to create from a disruptive standpoint. And I think that might have been the defensive front's best game. But he was good today. He wasn't bad. He was good.
I'm kind of with you. The game that sticks out to me most so far is the Green Bay game, and that was another game that the defense played lights out in. But it just seemed like he was just causing havoc in the middle of the line that entire game. They couldn't do anything up the middle. So I don't know that I would go with the Green Bay game still, but he did have a good game today. So I mean, not knocking him at all. But yeah, let's
look, and it's like, as long as he's not an absolute bust, like, defensive tackles, one of those like almost free pass plays when you draft a guy that high that's any good. Like, if he's moderate to okay as a starter, like, you're never going to get killed for drafting that guy. They traded back to get him. They acquired an extra pick. Travis Hunter's kind of been up and down a little bit so far. So like there's not a ton of noise there on that. It would be nice to have a top end receiver on this team. I don't know if Travis Hunter's that guy, but you know, as long as he doesn't absolutely blow week to week, like I don't have a problem with that pick. It wasn't sexy and it wasn't exciting, but he's fine. He's a good piece and a good building block for what this front's going to be for the next few years.
Yep. So moving on here, coaching, any big notes for you coaching wise? I mean, you already talked about how Stefanik had to coach one time today and he couldn't coach. So
Yeah, the only coaching point was that one play that I already mentioned. So I just,
the
I mean,
one
again,
time,
this offense didn't do anything.
James on Facebook, the one time Kevin isn't conservative is the time you need him to be conservative.
Yeah, right, 100%. Just makes no sense the things that he does. I mean, even Spiro and Archuleta were like, "What's he doing here?" Like, I don't know that I agree with it. Like, it's rare that the commentators actually call out the coach on live TV, like to that
especially
extent.
especially both of them, like United Front. They're like, yeah, I don't know what the hell that was. Like, usually one of them's like, well, you know, he might have been thinking this, and no,
yeah, they try to come up with some reasonable explanation, but when there isn't one, like,
yeah,
that's not good.
no, not good at all. Let's see, I lost my place in my notes here. So besides Stefanik, I mean, Schwartz is still a dog. I still maintain I'm gonna what is this, like the 5th, 6th, 7th time I've said this now? I'm still saying that we're
Schwartz for president.
Yeah, well, and I'm not even gonna go president. I'll just say for head coach. We need to fire Kevin Stefanski tomorrow and promote Jim Schwartz to head coach.
It was good to see them mix it up a little bit today, and they did call this out on the broadcast specifically, the amount of blitzing and different looks that they came up with, because he's just historically not a big bring pressure guy, and a lot of that is to do with the luxury they have on the front with Miles Garrett. So you're able to create pressure with four guys a lot of the time, but it was interesting, especially to see the DBs get involved in the blitz packages. So that was very cool. Denzel was in there, and Delpit. So that was fun. But again, just to your point, just reinstates or reinforces the point that Schwartz is the only quarterback on this, or the only coach on this staff that has any kind of creativity at all into going into these game plans.
Yeah, absolutely. And that, I mean, honestly, like he's also, on top of being the only one that has any sort of game plan, he's the only one that that seems like he holds his players accountable. Like the defense, when they come over there and something goes wrong for the defense, he's there, he's talking to them, he's actually coaching. Uh, but anytime you see something happen, Stefanik's just buried in his Denny's menu and trying to figure out what he's going to have for breakfast. But yeah, any major injuries in this one? I don't remember.
I don't think anybody really left.
Njoku didn't play from last week's injury.
Yeah,
correct?
Njoku didn't play.
So
That's
Njoku
correct.
was out. But besides that, I don't know.
Harold Fannin had another nice day, and he only had like four catches or so. But I mean, with being the only tight end in the offense, I
bet
he afforded himself well again.
I bet David Njoku is so thankful that it rained like it did, because we love the Chief. We love Njoku being here as part of the Browns, but if it wouldn't have rained like that, and we would have thrown the ball 58 times and 18 of them for 74 yards and a touchdown would have went to Fannin. Tomorrow we might be talking about David Njoku getting traded away. So,
and look, we're well on the record with how we feel about Andrew Berry and Stefanski both here. I would not blame Andrew Berry for making a move for just about anyone on this roster at this point. You're 2-5. I know the schedule's going to soften up here. I know that the division is not playing well. I think Pittsburgh certainly is fallible, and there's a chance, sure, I guess, but to me, this is like, if you can get picks out of an Njoku or anybody at this point, I have no problem with them moving anyone at this point to try and get better and try and build this team for next year.
nope. So I guess with that, let's go ahead and jump into our Burning River Sportscast Dog of the Week nominees. Quite a few guys played well this week. So Kenny, actually we'll start with Bone because Bone's not here. He sent his in. Bone nominates Alex Wright for his Dog of the Week. So I
He
know
was
Alex,
one of those guys that was all over the field today. Yeah.
him and like 14 others. So
Yeah.
Kenny, who do you got for Dog of the Week?
I'm gonna go Tyson Campbell. Just he still only had like 5 practices with this unit, so the fact that he was able to come down with the ball today and get it into the end zone, I thought was very cool. It was very fun. We've been saying all year long the defense needs to score points in order for this football team to win. And he delivered. And just good for him because I'm sure in his world personally, it's been a whirlwind couple of weeks to have to you kind of get traded, not really sure that was going to happen. All of a sudden, you got to move to Cleveland of all the places from Florida. Like probably a lot of shitty things going on in his life personally. And
then he plays
you
in this
come
game
into,
and he's like, "Come on."
yeah, and you got all this wind and rain and it's miserable, and you're like, why am I here? And then he comes down with a big play. So I'll go Tyson Campbell.
Yep. I think that you went highbrow on me, and you were like, "I'm not taking the obvious choice."
Yeah, I mean Judkins is the low IQ pick, right? I mean,
that's why you left it for me. Thanks.
Yeah,
thank you. Yeah, I'm gonna go Quinshon Judkins.
I mean, he scored all the points.
Yeah.
So.
If I didn't go with him at this point, everybody would just assume I'm an idiot, and because I'm going with him, they just assume I'm lazy.
I mean, he's gonna win. We all know that. I'm just trying to give flowers to the other guys.
That's fine. So yeah, Quinshon Judkins is my nominee for Dog of the Week, which we all know he's going to win. Before we get to final thoughts, I had one more thing that I wanted to talk about. I don't know if everybody saw on social media. I posted a short video earlier today just to address it, but today on social media it started blowing up that one of Cleveland's quarterbacks was out there liking or favoriting TikTok videos of people trashing Kevin Stefanski's offense and how terrible it is. That person was Deshaun Watson, and that person also liked one of our videos talking exactly about that. And I think in the clip, again, that's on our social medias. If you want to go check it out real quick, I have the screenshot of him favoriting the video. And then I even put the video in that you were, the synopsis of the video that in question. And basically what you say is Dylan Gabriel threw 58 passes for 200 yards at 55% completions. Like that's Kevin's offense. This is what we do. And Deshaun Watson thought that was good. So, and yes, it's verified. It's his account. It was his account on the other one of the video that's been going around social media. It was his account that liked our video, that favorited our video on TikTok. So either Deshaun Watson was turned up that night and having a bad day, and it was like, I'm liking all this shit, or he just has been just stewing on this for a while and finally started letting it all out. I don't know.
Welcome to the party, Deshaun Watson. We have no problem with you following us. That's totally fine. We appreciate the like. I'm not going to backtrack on that either. The idea that, look, I'm also not going to backtrack on the fact that I think it was a mistake to bring him here and there was too much baggage and the accusations. I'll never defend that side of it. No. But I do think there's some level of apology owed to Deshaun Watson just about how bad he played here. Because I think a lot of that, I think we've come to know now is the Stefanski's offense. So you can blame Deshaun for a lot of things. I'm past the point of being able to blame him for being for the lack of production that he's had in the Browns uniform. Because I'm at a point where I do believe that if he gets traded or cut or moves on to New Orleans next year, that he may very well throw over 5,000 yards again.
Yeah, I mean, and that was kind of what the question that I posed on our socials today was I'm not sure. I think Deshaun Watson is washed, and I think he's not very good anymore. But I also think that Kevin's offense did him no favors, and there was no chance for him, regardless of how good he might be right now. There was no chance for him to shine in an offense like this because you've talked about it a million times in terms of Baker Mayfield. is that this offense was not made for Baker Mayfield, because Baker Mayfield likes to create. He likes to get outside the pocket. He likes to do his own thing, and that's when he's at his best. Sound familiar? That's Deshaun Watson when he threw for 5,000 yards. He was outside the pocket. They talked about it all the time when they were trying to trash him, as they said, yeah, we ran plays, but he kind of just ran around and did his own thing back there.
Yeah.
So, it's no surprise that he didn't flourish in Kevin's dink and dunk offense. So,
but it also does speak to the dysfunction, I guess, maybe in this locker room.
Oh, the finger pointing.
You can't have your current players online liking social media posts from people that are trashing your coaching staff. I mean,
yeah.
It's not
I hear what you're saying, Dewey. I agree with the part where he's trying to get
again, I don't feel bad for him in any way. It's not about that. I just think that no matter how good or not good that he was, I don't think it even mattered, because I don't think that this
offense was so bad
that he was ever going to be successful in it.
Yeah.
And let's take away just even the scheme. Look at the players that were here, the receivers and stuff, and this line that continued to age. Like, there were so many things that weren't addressed with this football team and with this offense, and we just thought because we had Deshaun Watson, it was all going to get better. You still have to continue to build a unit, and they didn't. So the fact that you have no supporting personnel and a coach that has no idea how to manage a clock or let alone a game plan, like, he wasn't going to be successful even if he was Brett Favre. Like, he had no chance here.
No.
And the Browns did that to themselves.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's all we're saying. We're not Watson apologists whatsoever. I think we're all on the same page on our show that we should have never brought him here. But it's interesting that now he's coming out of the woodwork and liking all this stuff, and I agree he's probably trying to move on as fast as possible. So,
John, we'll have you on the show. You want to say your piece? We're more than happy to have you. If you want to come, you want to call and tell us what's really going on.
No, I actually like this last comment too, because I disagree with this. We could talk at length about this another time. I just want to throw it out there that I would agree Jimmy is responsible for Manziel. I would agree Jimmy is responsible for Shador. I will argue to the end of the earth that the Watson thing was 100% Andrew Berry and Kevin Stefanski, and they sold it to Jimmy.
We had that conversation last week. You can listen to it on the Spotify or Apple Podcasts, wherever you get your podcasts.
Go listen to it. Go. And then you can join the show again.
Are you giving Dewey his cue?
Yeah. Anyways, final thoughts this week. You want me to go first? You want to go first, Kenny?
You can go first.
My final thought this week is we didn't go to the game today, but we did go up to the Muni lot to tailgate with some friends before the game started. And I just got to say, I understand the weather was bad. I understand the Browns are bad. I understand the Dolphins are bad. But we have, I keep seeing all the time that everybody's so upset and up in arms that they're going to be moving to this dome and we're not going to have the Muni lot anymore, which, forget the fact that the Muni lot was going regardless of where we went. People were complaining that there's not going to be a Muni lot at the dome. It's never going to be the same because the Haslams are going to own the parking lots and the rules will be different. It'll just be a different vibe. It'll be commercial, whatever you want to call it. I was at the Muni lot today and I was disappointed, is to say the least. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not calling out like our friends up there, the Muni lot Browns backers were there in mass, just enjoying themselves. The front end of the Muni lot, like that first parking lot, was packed as it ever is. Everybody was partying and going hard down there. But literally, as soon as you got out of that first lot,
it's never the diehards; it's the casual fans that fill up the stadium. So
as soon as you got out of that lot, though, that first lot, it was just nobody. I mean, we strolled in at like we only went up there for like an hour, basically to have some like tailgating food and like 1 or 2 beers with our friends, and then come back. We strolled in at like 10. We got there at like 10:30 and went right in and parked right next to him. And I was like, "What's happening here?"
Yeah, yeah. Look, I mean, I think there's this whole like countdown going on, right? It's like, oh, there's only
Right.
31
And
Unilot tailgates left or whatever it is now.
that's my
And
point. You don't care as much as you say you do, or else you'd be over there tailgating, even in the shit weather, even with this shit team. You'd be over there tailgating if you really cared that the Muni Lot wasn't going to be there anymore.
well, and that's the thing, right? It wasn't like it was snowing today. It was just windy and rainy. Like,
Yeah.
put on a
And that's a whole
windbreaker.
other topic, but relevant to this same thing is everybody's complaining about the dome and going to a dome. We're not going to have the elements. The elements won us another game today, blah, blah, blah. Okay. Did you see how many fans were in that stadium?
I
The minute
I
there's adversity,
actually I
go ahead.
actually did because I had family that was there, and my family that went to the game is from Texas, and they just moved here in the last couple of years, and so they're still kind of acclimating to Browns culture. And he sent me a picture actually, and says 2 minutes left in the first. Surprised how many empty seats there are. Is this weather related or team support based on how the season's
Did you
going?
tell him yes?
Well, yeah, it was kind of like, yeah, I mean, that's the point. I mean, tickets were being sold for $9 a seat today.
Yeah.
So
This
that's
is
the state of the
again, this is
Browns.
for all of the people out there that are telling me like, we need to stay on the lakefront and have the elements. Like, okay, well, you guys really showed it today.
And today was one of those games, right? Today
Today
was
wasn't even that cold either.
but today was one of those games, right? If you're going to talk about traditionalists and weather and sloppy AFC North football and hard-nosed guys, like this was the game. That was what won us the game. Miami wasn't prepared for the elements. Cleveland was. That was the difference in the game, and the fans wanted no part of it.
Yeah. Yeah. So I don't know. I just it kind of it rubbed me the wrong way seeing that there was nobody in the Muni Lot, even though this is a big topic. Like people like to talk about this and say how it's a
Yeah.
terrible thing. And nobody was there. And then I turn on the TV to watch the game when we get home and nobody was there. And I'm
Yeah.
like, are you kidding me? So yeah, that's my final thought. If you want to talk about how great the stadium is and how we shouldn't be moving, you need to show up.
Yeah. It ain't even cold yet.
That's what I said.
It's October.
It was like 68 degrees.
Now, it wasn't nice. It
No, it was
wasn't
windy and
Jacksonville,
rainy,
but
and you would get cold by the end of it, absolutely, but it was
sure.
still like not that bad.
Yeah.
Kenny, what's your final thought?
Yeah, there's a lot of guys with the war stories about, oh, I was there in 86 and it was 0 degrees and we sat outside all day without shirts on. There's just so very few of those people left.
Yeah.
My final thought is look, a win is a win is a win, and a win is great. You should feel good about being 2-5 and not 1-6 or whatever the hell we were headed to. But don't let this distract you from the fact that Kevin Stefanski is still the worst coach in the NFL. Andrew Berry is the worst GM in the NFL. And just like dating Dylan Gabriel for just a few months too long, and we should have broke it off weeks ago, the longer this goes on, the harder it is to separate ties, and the more we're just going to drag this out and delay any type of future success for this franchise. Wins are great. They're hard to come by, and they're especially hard to come by when Kevin Stefanski is your head coach and when Andrew Berry is your GM, because they are absolutely in over their head. They are a disaster. You've lost the stadium. We said, the locker room probably can't be far behind. A win like today, buys you a temporary stay of execution, but make no mistake, it's coming. They got the Jets, the Titans coming up on this schedule. Very real possibilities they could lose some of those games, and it's going to get ugly. We haven't reached fever pitch just yet. We've been saying it for years now that we wanted to bring in somebody else and try to actually win football games here in Cleveland, somebody that upheld some level of accountability and some kind of culture of winning. And Stefanski's just not it. So just enjoy the win, take it for what it is, but don't let it distract you from the fact that like change is coming and change is needed, and it should have been done already. That's it. That's all I got.
Instead of getting fired tomorrow, if they would have lost this game, it'll be like 3 weeks from now.
Few more weeks, yeah.
And what did I say? And I'm going to stand by this. Just wait till we get to that game. But the Jets come to town and they're 0 for whatever. I am absolutely picking the Jets because we will lose that game.
Who's their quarterback now? Because
That's the only wild
Justin
card in this
Fields
whole
got
thing.
benched. Did Tyrod come in? Is that who their backup
Tyrod
was?
Taylor, yeah. That's the only wild card in this whole thing. But that'll do it for us. Let me remind everybody to call the Burning River Sportscast Hot Take Hotline.
Hot take hotline.
Don't forget to call and leave your hot takes on the Hot Take Hotline. Do it. You got a lot to say in the chat. Why don't you leave us a hot take on the Hot Take Hotline?
Yeah, call Hot Take Hotline.
You too, James Frank. What are you doing?
Yeah, the number's right there. Call it, or we'll kick you into Jimmy's.
Yeah, 330-227-8081.
330-227-8081.
330-227-8081. That's what I meant.
Forgot how to do the bit.
I forgot. Yeah, I forgot the bit.
Do the show. He's never done a podcast
be sure to check
before.
out our gear, www.thetappingmedia.com/shop. That'll do it for us. Kenny, what can we expect this week?
We'll have our normal show. Well, I guess kind of normal, actually. Red Hot Ronnie Jams is traveling, so he'll be remoted in for a normal show that we'll record this week to be released on Thursday, where we will preview the Week 8 game against the Patriots, who look pretty good. We'll have another Browns backer interview and all the other things you listen to the Burning River Sportscast for, namely just hearing the same takes over and over and over and over and over again, because that's what we do here on the Burning River Sportscast.
Yeah, it is what we do.
The favorite podcast of Deshaun Watson.
Yeah.
Unofficially. Allegedly.
Allegedly. And don't forget to check us out on social media. Tapping Media is on Facebook, X, and Instagram at The Tapping Media. I'm Burning River Sportscast. That's this podcast. Is on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube at Burning River Sportscast, and on X at Burning River Pod. You can find our podcast wherever you get your podcasts. I'm talking Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube Music, Amazon Music, Stitcher, Pandora, iHeartRadio, Podcast Castro, Good Pods, where we are number one ranked football podcast, and so many more. And please, please, please leave us reviews on your podcast app of choice. Help us to continue to grow and keep bringing you the best damn Cleveland Browns pod in the land.
Is that it? Is that the whole show?
That's it. That's what I got.
Browns won.
Hey, we win.
I'm still not sure whether I'm like super happy, like I'm
it
like a
does,
little indifferent.
You know, look, it really does make my week a lot better, because when anybody asks me all week long, I say, well, the Browns won this week, so I don't know.
That is true. Yeah.
Steelers lost.
Browns won, Steelers
lost.
It makes your small talk easier.
Yeah.
The Steelers lost, but let's not talk about that. We're gonna
because Joe Flacco won.
We're gonna have a whole discussion about that.
Want to get into it?
So,
Joe Flacco threw for 342 yards.
Yeah. Let's not. Today was mostly good vibes. Okay.
Did I just
mostly good?
Did I wreck it?
Let's leave it on a good note. Now you got me all sweaty. I'm about to take this neck brace off. I gotta get out of here. Don't be a part of the problem. Be the whole damn problem.
And only you can prevent river fires. Burning River Sportscast. Good night, Cleveland.
Rivers. Good night, Cleveland.
Good night, Akron.